Good afternoon. It is an AMG live stream, and I see already folks in the chat. I see you're all up and running. I like it. I will say, though, I think most of the time I disagree with Eric here, but I must say, it's 5:17. The show didn't now start. I'm going to complain to the manager. I understand those feels. I will assure you that the individuals responsible for sacking the individuals responsible have been sacked. And that's a Monty Python reference, if you know it.
If you know.
First comment here. 902 Vintage. Whoa, Bundy. There you go. Sherry is the manager. It is true. I wish I was eating pizza. At least that would be exciting. No, it's like herding cats. It's herding cats, man.
There are a lot of pizza eating that happens at AMG. Or there is a lot of eating, I should say.
Good evening, East Coast. Thank you, Yannick. Appreciate you. CH Card says $50 credit for all the tardiness. Listen, I might have to put somebody in charge of it. Powerpuff Girls for Life. Finally able to make it to live show. Love it. Carter here says, hello, Steve.
Hi, Carter.
There you go. At least we got an active chat to start, so that's good. That is encouraging. Wow. PSA Canada, the betrayal.
Wow.
Sherry, the betrayal. My goodness.
Ouch.
I prefer to call it fabulous.
We have seen the enemy, Sherry, and it is us. It is within.
Alex,
see how this.
Alex got some chirps tonight.
Oh yeah, he's a little chirper.
This Sherry, this is what I'm trying to tell you right now. Like right now, I am seeing they're getting spicy out there. I'm kind of liking it, Steve. I don't even have to work hard on this one. They're making it easy for me right now.
Yeah, we can sit back and relax this show.
Mm-hmm. I'm liking it. So okay. we did record the podcast episode earlier tonight, so we had some fun with that. It'll be kind of a standard kind of episode, just giving you guys a little bit of heads up. We did chat, although you will get to see some lovely displays that Blair was able to share with us from the Hockey Hall of Fame. So there will be a little bit of that, a couple of stories, but I think the focus of this one will be on the Black Friday sale and also on the card show. So we had a little bit of that going. Steve Griff's playoff beer win way too early. Steve was way ahead of the game on this one. Way ahead of the game.
Christmas is just around the corner. I need a side gig.
There you go. What's the order at Firehouse Subs, Steve? Do you actually have Firehouse Subs out there, or is it just something you get when you go to Toronto?
No, it's just something I dream about, and and then when I go to Toronto, my dream comes true.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
That's
so you're saying we need
Italian and the hook and ladder.
Yeah, Sherry actually, knows me so well. I don't even tell her anymore. It just shows up at the booth. It's like, I got you usual, Steve, and I'm like, perfect.
So what you're saying is, if a Firehouse Subs ever finds its way over to Halifax, it's like, oh my, this is the second most exciting thing after the Topanga card. Like it's right there, like neck and neck.
No way. It's first.
You got to understand the passion for the Topanga card is strong. It's pretty strong, Sherry. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's pretty impressive.
Carter chirping me too.
I'm just saying. The folks in the chat are on it today. I like it.
Someone bought the Taylor Swift picture on Black Friday, so I had to scramble and found this picture. Looks good though.
We will share a couple of images from the Black Friday there, and you'll actually be able to see the Taylor image on there. You will be able to see a Taylor Swift on there and a couple of cameo appearances, but we'll share that in a minute. So tell you what, I talked with Steve already a little bit about it. Sherry, do you want to share anything related to either Black Friday or the card show?
Yeah, Black Friday. It was awesome. We were definitely busy. My Pokemon selection has dwindled almost to nothing at this point. Okay. As you know, Pokemon has been selling like crazy, but especially over this weekend, I think people took whatever they could get their hands on at this point. It's very hot, that's for sure. And then we had the card show on Saturday, and that was super busy. We had 120 tables, 55 dealers. We continued with the Black Friday sales. There was quite a few people, a couple hundred in and out through the mall and the store. So we were really happy with that.
Excellent.
Wow.
So we're getting all the help from Brad off in the distance. We got to get Brad. Brad's got to show his face. I know he's off there in the distance. We can hear him.
He might make an appearance here shortly.
And if there's a Firehouse Subs opening in Dartmouth in the new year, that could be trouble.
No way.
Oh boy,
that's 99-cent Cards is making this claim. It is a bold statement. So I hope this
I'm putting in my notice, Sherry. I will be applying to Firehouse Subs. Hopefully, they give an employee discount.
And I will make sure they close.
There you go. It's the best news. That's why I tune in. Excellent. Good to know. Good to know. Listen, we're breaking news all the way over here. I like it.
Into this.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Listen, this is the second most exciting event. This was very similar to what happened when the cookie shop opened. We already had Eric. Eric got delivered cookies, and then all of a sudden, Crumble Cookies was actually available in Canada, and it was actually available near us, and that was shocking. Like it was, we made a whole spectacle out of it. It was very exciting.
I think it was a few weeks.
It was amazing.
Oh, boy.
Rachel's up and leaving.
We did have a
Promises.
feast of mezza today at the store, thanks to Corey, who's now flying off to Miami for a few days in the nice warm weather.
Tough life.
No, mezza is also very, very good.
Tough life. Tough life. I get it. I get it. But no, that's good. I think it's good to know. So, folks, what we'll do is we'll actually, in the course of the conversation as we're hanging around, so for the most part, we'll chat on a couple specific things, but at the same time, if there's something you do want us to touch on, we definitely can. Obviously, with the sale. So after you have one of those sales and you do it, is it just reloading, kind of shuffling everything back and getting everything taken down? What's the process once you start to disassemble it after a couple of sales and card show and everything?
The first thing Monday morning, Sherry had our inventory sheets printed out. Thank you, Sherry. And so me and the rest of the crew kind of went around and did our inventory, and that way we could kind of tell what items we sold during Black Friday that got us down to a comfortable level, and ones that we might want to continue selling them again to get our inventory to a good level. So some things aren't on sale anymore. Some things we continued with, like most of the blasters are still going to be the same price they were on Black Friday. The discount boxes, until the end of the business day on Thursday, everything in there is 50 cents. Mm-hmm. So I would safely say we've sold at least 200,000 discount cards since Friday. It started, we had probably a couple 100,000 10-cent cards, and someone, after about an hour of them being on the floor, someone just bought them all. And then we had our discount boxes at $1. Now they're at 50 cents. And come Friday morning, I believe we have 10 new discount boxes ready to go. So there'll be some good fresh stuff in there Friday morning. But in the meantime, there's still, there's lots of great 50-cent cards in those boxes.
Yeah, there's still lots left. So come and grab those. And once those have been kind of gone through, like Steve said, end of day Thursday, we will have a refresh of new discount box items that will be ready.
Yeah, perfect timing. Busy dude had that question just as Steve was talking, so good timing on that question.
Yeah.
Perfectly done. Sean here, good afternoon. Black Friday was great. Even the stuff not on sale, really on sale. Great prices. Good to hear. Excellent. Excellent. Hopefully you found some stuff that suited your fancy. I think it's one of those things. So let me kind of pose this question. I'll ask this. I've always found it kind of interesting. The whole thing with the holiday season is a little bit weird because obviously people are out there, they're buying things for, buying presents for folks. Now, mind you, I'm in a household with a lot of adults, so for the most part, it's a lot of gift cards. That's what ends up being a lot of. It's like, you know what, you figure it out yourself. I'm not going to try it because for the most part, stuff during the year, if we really want it, we're probably bought it for ourselves, or vice versa, or whatever the case may be. So it's kind of tough to surprise somebody with a present that way. However, even as a collector, though, I find it's an interesting time because there are some years where I feel like it's really good because everyone's kind of looking away, and then the sellers are happy to sell to you, so you can kind of take advantage of it a little bit. And then there's other times where people are ravenous, and you can definitely see that people are like into it. Like I've been an eBay seller as well, and there are sometimes during the holidays people are like, "Oh my God, I want to buy one of these, and they'll put together a little bundle." Mm-hmm. So, what has been your experiences with it? Do you see a little bit of both those things? People ravenously grabbing things during the holidays, or maybe grabbing one or two things for some folks?
I think, first of all, collectors look for themselves first. Whether they might.
Are you trying to say we're selfish, Steve?
Yes.
How dare you?
Their intentions may be to buy things for other people, but I think when they first come in, they don't mean to. But
our intentions are pure, Steve.
They will.
I will not have you besmirch our good name.
Exactly. You said it. If they see something that catches their eye first, understandably, they'll take care of their needs first, or wants and desires, I guess. And then, okay, what was I in here for? Oh, yes, I have to get something for my niece or nephew. So yeah, we did have a lot of that. You could kind of tell as people were paying for items what may have been for them and what may have been a gift for someone. So that was kind of fun to watch how people's minds worked when they were making their purchases.
One for you, one for me. Like that seems perfectly legitimate math to me. Like that, sure, that seems
I
legit.
think that's pretty fair. I actually did go to the mall on the weekend on Sunday, and I was looking for specific Christmas items, and there might have been few things that I picked up for myself first. I think that's just the way it goes.
I was scandalized by what Steve was implying. I couldn't even believe it. I was shocked. I was horrified. In the spirit of giving, how dare you, Steve? How dare you? These are hurtful words.
It's not my first rodeo.
Fair enough. So Loud Collector here says Tuesday, let's go. There you go. This is indeed perfect. So let me ask this question. This is one of my favorite things, though. I think it was posed this question maybe a year or two ago. Obviously, with the card shop, we've got all these different things you can actually put together. And this is something I remember hearing somebody actually try to do. You can actually put together like a little kit. If you were going to take different components and put together a little kit for a new collector, what do you include in it? Because this is always a question that I've asked a couple of different folks. It's like, all right, so do you include a binder? Do you include some sleeves, top loaders, and that? Maybe a blaster box or two? Like if you're going to put together a little kit, what would that actually look like? What approach what would you advise?
For me, it would look exactly like that.
Yeah, I think you just gave us
Sleeves,
an idea.
top loaders and blasters.
Yeah.
And
this is what I do, Steve.
Many people came in over the weekend and relatives looking for gifts for their sons or their nieces or nephews, etc. And that's what I suggested for them. It's budget friendly, it's fun, and you still get to rip open packs. So, and that's at the end of the day, that's what they're looking to do.
Yeah, and just to touch on that, the blasters are, like Sherry said, are very cheap. With the purchase, you actually get a free upper deck binder, and I believe the Ultra Pro pages are 50 cents a piece. So I mean, you can probably put like you touched on, a nice little Christmas package together for a new or young collector, for less than $50, and even whether it's the Metal Universe or the Upper Deck Series 1, they're all kind of right in the same price range. So yeah, absolutely, you can put a little package together, and I think, yes, whether we get it in time for Christmas or next year, that's a good idea, that we could put a package together instead of having them go here and there. It might be nice to have a visual of, here's the deal, it's whatever it is, $30 or $50, and it's it speed the whole experience up. So that's a neat idea, Carlos. You are useless.
We actually had.
You are useful.
Oh, I see what you've done, Steve. Listen, you already wounded my soul earlier. You can no longer hurt me. That's it. It's done now. The funny thing, part of the reason I brought it up though, is because when I was a kid and it was the junk wax era. So during that time period, they had those collector kits. That's actually something that I think actually still makes sense. It was very logical. You would get the binder, you would get a couple of pages, you would get some packs, and maybe a small stack of cards. Obviously, we're not going to go to 1990 Topps baseball cards anymore. That's not going to be included in the package. But again, today, a blaster box does make sense. The penny sleeves with top loaders, a couple of pages, a binder. The idea is that so the kid can take the bundle, and you've already got everything you need. You can start off with that, and then down the road, if you want to get more blaster boxes or packs or whatever, go ahead. But you've at least got the basics covered. You've got everything taken care of, and then that's where the parent can help them out, and you're good to go.
We actually
that kind of fell by the wayside.
We actually had a box of pages on sale over Black Friday. So if you were in, you were able to grab that, and that would fill up your binder and more.
And the price on those was insane, like way, way below cost. And I think we're still running it again till we get our inventory to where we want to be. But I kind of like that idea, Carlos. Just have a little presentation. Here it is, Carlos's Christmas package, we'll call it.
Yeah, we actually still have the pages on sale, $15 a box.
Yeah, that's incredible.
A lot of people don't think they don't put two and two together unless you show them Like the
Right.
visual of seeing all those things. Oh yeah, actually makes total sense because then yeah, everything's already here. I don't need to. If I want to add something to it, I can. But this is the basics. This will cover it. You can pretty much put it in one package, and there's your
And we
collecting in a
actually have a
box.
couple of people that do different things over Christmas. They'll do like 12 days of Christmas or 24 packs of Christmas. I know there's a gentleman that comes in usually every year and he gets 24 packs and does like a pack advent calendar for his father. There's another couple that comes in and does 12 days of Christmas and opens boxes together. So there's definitely a lot of different ideas and things you can do aside from beginner bundle packs, if you want to say. But yeah, we have a lot of different things that people do.
I think back then, I think the manufacturers, because now mind you, they printed so much, so they came up with about 100 different ways, 100 different SKUs to be able to move it. The collector kits was one. They used to have the little stocking stuffers. You could have a couple little bundled packs that you could stick in the stocking. That was a thing they used to do as well. But as big, again, they had so many packs and so many cards that they had a million little SKUs. But during the holidays, I'm like, yeah, we totally have these kits. We've got all this stuff. Please buy it because we've got millions of these cards. Good afternoon, Jeff. 99 Cars Cat. Patrick Waugh, 1991 Pro Set Collector's Kit. There you go. Classic. Loud Collector here says top loader binders for the win. The top loader binders are pretty good, especially if you do have a stack of top loaders. 1990 Pro Set Series 1 is one of the greatest sets of all time. Strong. I do the pack advent calendar too. There you go. We got a lot of holiday themed ways of participating in the hobby. I think that makes a lot of sense. But that was some good stuff. That used to be the way that it used to be done. People, they always ask, like, well, how do you promote a hobby? So why don't you just make it easy? If you've got a holiday already built in, just make it. If the person doesn't have to go and figure it out and put it together piecemeal, just put it in one place. And they say, oh, okay, yeah, then I've got everything I need. Yep, you can walk right out the door with it. You've got everything you need.
Yeah.
You're good to go. Sounds good. So I think we actually have a little bit of. So I want to share a couple of images from the Black Friday, but also I believe we've got a little special giveaway this time around. We have brought back the giveaway. So Steve, do you want to tell us what we got this time around?
I will just, a picture says 1,000 words. One of the lovely Vanna White.
Wow, look at that. It is a box of 2324 ice. Fancy.
Yep, up for grabs. So if you're in the chat, we're going to get a hashtag going here and you can enter.
Yep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the hashtag. So bear with me a moment, and then I will get that going for you. And then I will share with you what the hashtag is going to be. So this one, for those of you who are here, you're in luck because that's actually a pretty good prize, I must say.
Mm-hmm.
So let me have a little bit of fun with this one. I'm going to make you guys work a little bit for it. It's still going to be a hashtag, but I'll make you work for it just a little bit. I'm going to have a little bit of fun with this one. And see if you get the theme. Let's do this one here. Perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to do, top loader binders are on my list. Go Sens go. There you go. Perfect. Even Eric wants that. He likes the hockeys. $1 store Xmas stockings filled with packs and supplies. Yeah, that's it. Eric is not allowed in most things. Yes, that is a fact. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you what the hashtag is. So I'm going to put that on the screen here in a moment. And I will have it scrolling. We'll let it run for a little bit. It's Ice Ice Baby. We gotta listen. Like I said, we're gonna make you type a little bit. I believe you can do small letters and capitals, so I think it accepts both of those, and it has been activated, so that hashtag will work. You have to put it in the chat, but if you put it in the chat, it'll get accumulated here, and when it comes time, I will hit the button and we'll run a draw. So that is a chance to win that 2324 Ice Hobby Box, and it is the Bedard year, so maybe you pull one, and there you go, and you're all fancy. Quite the.
I feel like it's going to be lucky.
We're going to find out. Yannick is first out of the block, so he did all small letters and it accepted it. So you can do small letters or capitals, so it accepts both.
Yeah. Sheila in there tonight?
Oh, please, Sheila, I hope you're home. Enter.
I was going to say, this is your opportunity.
Your son needs this.
There you go. Perfect. So there you go. So all right, some of you are punching in. So go ahead, keep going for a couple minutes, and while you're doing that, we'll talk a little bit about the Black Friday. I'll share a couple of images from it, and we'll let it run for a couple of minutes to give you several of you a chance. So scrolling across the bottom there, if you want to win the giveaway, you got to use the hashtag. You only need to do it once. You do it once, and that's enough, and it will work. All right.
There she is.
Perfect. Well done. Well done. So you're in. All right. So we got a little bit of a footage here from it, and we do have the aforementioned Taylor Swift. We got the Taylor Swift Eras Tour poster over there. So we've got that in there. So this was during the Black Friday sale, Sherry?
This was actually Saturday during the card show.
During the card show? Okay.
Yeah. So this was Saturday during the card show. And like many of you know, we have it in the mall now. And we get a lot of traffic through the store. Saturdays are usually our busiest day anyway. But then with the card show, we have a lot of people coming in, taking a gander, seeing what's on. And because we were still running the Black Friday sales, you can see all along the left showcase there. That's where we had the majority of items set out that were our main focus and big selling points. But a lot of people come in for supplies too. So it's really good on that aspect. And then you can see in the middle there, that's where all the discount boxes were. There's many people going through those. And as we said before, they are also still 50 cents a card. We're running that until the end of the day Thursday. But yeah, lots of foot traffic. It was fantastic. The day went by so quick.
Absolutely. There you go. So a little bit of the happenings there, and you got a couple of cameo appearances here. We got somebody over here, and we got somebody over here. We got somebody off in the distance there on the side. So if you do a little Where's Waldo, you can find some folks in there.
You can, for sure.
That is the AMG shop. It is
It
indeed.
is, yeah.
That's from the rear of the store, I believe.
Yeah.
It's the eye in the sky.
You believe?
Showing off.
I think it 100% is.
I don't get down that end too often.
God.
Yep. It's a pretty big shop, man. So these are facts.
We definitely take pride in it.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be, we'll figure it out one of these, but probably in the next year. I suspect in the coming year, Carlos may have to make a trip down there, and we may have to do one of these things in person. Like I have to go there, and Steve and I can grace and do the autograph signings. Hold back, Blair will have to play security and keep the people at bay.
I like to call it the 5,000 square feet of pure collector heaven.
Wow,
look at that. There you go.
It was a crazy 72 hours, getting everything ready, the Black Friday, the trade night, the setting up the tables, the taking down the tables. And Saturday night, I actually went about an hour away to a little town called Truro to hang out with some of my really close buddies. And it's going to be one of those, have some adult beverages, and one of them had harvested a deer, and we were going to spend the night, laughing and giggling. And like at 9:30 at night, I just kind of looked over and I said, "I'm sorry, guys, but I'm going to bed." So they teased me for about 20 minutes, but I had the best sleep of my life, and they were all hurting the next morning. So, but everyone put in, a great effort over that 72-hour span, getting everything situated and, setting up, putting away. It's a lot of work, but it was worth it. And we enjoyed, taking care of the collecting community.
No, I definitely appreciate my team's help and all the dealers and attendees. It was another great show. So I really appreciate all the support.
Swapping out.
Oh,
Do we even need Heartland on the show? Like,
I was going to say, we got a disembodied voice over there.
I was busy, man. I was busy.
So busy.
Luke and Duke Bushwhackers.
Am I out? Or am I still here?
There you go. Yannick here says, when the scallop season is, someone wants to visit the shop and enjoy the food. When is the scallop season? Steve, you're all over this about the scallops. What's going on?
I am not at liberty to say, because then I would have to share them. The scallops are all mine.
Steve does not share scallops. That I can confirm.
Yeah, I was going to say, so it sounds to me like there is no scallop season, Yannick. It's pretty much that's what happens.
Yeah.
So how's it going, Brad?
Good. Busy day, busy week. Things are rolling along really nicely right now. Getting caught up on the PSA side of things, which is great. Now we got our orders should start rolling back from the November show over the next couple of weeks, but the 1st of January, that'll be about 6 weeks from the show. So January is going to be extremely busy, but I already see orders popping now, some of the value orders, which is great to see. That's been only, just about 4 weeks. Again, some will take longer, but some will come back quicker. So
very nice.
I love your segment on Aaron Rodgers. That was great, Carlos, by the way.
Hey, listen, it happens. You got to do what you got to do. Works out. I was going to ask this question here. I think we had talked about when the show was happening. So there's two cards that everybody always pays attention to. I know there were a lot of 52 tops Manels, and I know there were a bunch of the Gretzky's. So how many Gretzky's did you take in this time approximately? Do you remember?
254.
254
254 Gretzky's were graded on site. I don't know how many we would have. Yeah, I'm not really sure how many would have been sent back. Probably say another 50 to 100.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think the number is 234 or 254. I think it was 254 that we graded on site. With the highest, we had a couple 8.5s. Nothing, no 9s came out.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. Yeah.
Nice,
It's good.
Nice.
Someone asked me the card of the show, the Vezina set. Oh, was that? I did that on your show, maybe, Carlos. The Vezina, George Vezina rookie that got graded a 7.5, which is a pop one with only one higher. That was the best card I've seen for me personally. Speaking for all weekend, that was awesome.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I think it was always the running joke back in the earlier days of the live stream, where we would sit there and people would like question us like, well, when the Gretzky started going up in price during the pandemic, all those cars were going up in price. But at the same time, it was like, actually, no, there's a lot of Gretzky rookies, and there always used to be tons of them. And it's like, so you can take in 230 or 250. That's brand new grading at a show that weren't already graded. It's like there's a lot of them. That's why we always told Eric that they were doorstops. We have stacks of them. Everybody is. Steve is literally sitting on that chair is held up by Gretzky rookies. That's actually what's holding it up right now.
Oh, that's funny.
So a few 8.5 of the Expo. Exactly. Hi, Brad. I'm staying busy. I appreciate that he's trying to convince people. I like that.
Alex is developing quite the personality, but every time I see him, Alex, what are you doing? I'm busy. He's the busiest guy in Nova Scotia.
I learned a long time ago, Brad, to use that excuse at work too. I'm always busy. No matter what's happening, I'm extremely busy. Even at lunch, I'm extremely busy.
Yeah. I did see that he mentioned about the spreadsheet. Yeah, so that's gone. Now you can look up all your orders at psacard.com/order status. Once you get the submission number, you can plug it in there and it gives you the status of your order. And then we will be launching in 2025 our own Canadian online submission center, which is going to be very exciting. So more details will come as in the next few weeks when we make the announcements of all the things that we are doing with PSA in Canada in 2025. And I think the announcements will come mid-December before Christmas. And I can tell you that everything we're doing is going to make submitting any cards under the collector's umbrella, cards, autographs, comics, much easier for Canadians in 2025. That's for sure. I'm beyond excited about it.
Look at that. Brad getting all fancy and teasing.
I got to get my plug in there when I can, right? I don't have my PSA shirt on.
I appreciate the shamelessness. Well done by you. Well done by you.
This isn't the PSA show, but I mean, I guess I'll allow
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Well, that channel still gets the odd subscriber, but we're trying to beat it. We're trying to actually get more subscribers.
We must have passed those guys.
We're within about 40. Yeah. So if you're not already subscribed, we need that done.
It only took us a couple episodes, so I don't know.
Yeah, the other one was going on for longer. We were doing lives a lot longer on that one.
Yeah, better reevaluate what they're doing over there because
listen, I think the problem with that PSA show. I remember that host and the guy that was there with him, Heartland something. Those two were weird. There's some weirdos on that show. Like I don't even want to discuss it. Like we're done. We're moving on from that. It was dark time for us all. Let us move on. So does Brad think we'll ever see another Topps or a Peachy PSA 10 of Wayne?
I do. Honestly, I really do. I think it will. There's many that I thought would have a chance, and I know that I got the numbers the other day. So I think we submitted since I started with PSA Canada, just over 3,000 or it was 3,500 Wayne Gretzky rookies to grade. Mm-hmm. So out of those 3,500, I'm going to say a dozen that I looked at and I was like, huh, maybe they have a shot at it. Maybe they do. I've never got back anything higher than an 8.5. But I do think there will be. I think there's a possibility, maybe even some of the 9s that are in existence out there could be sent in for reviews, and that would be something if one did bump up from a 9 to a 10. You just never know. You never know what you're going to see. So I do think there will be.
So I've got an interesting story about the first Wayne Gretzky PSA 10 when several years when there was just the one, and I forget how long ago it was. But anyway, my father and I were either the National or the Sun Time show in Chicago, and a guy walks up to us and asked us if we would have an interest in buying his Wayne Gretzky rookie. It was a PSA 10 at the time, and there really wasn't a whole lot known about the card or anything, but we just kind of like, well, what are you looking to get for it? He told us $50,000, and my father and I kind of looked at each other and we're like, this guy's nuts. Like we hummed and hawed about it and like had zero interest or intention in buying that card at $50,000. There just wasn't enough known about it. It was it was the craziest thing, but we said no. We said, and it wasn't that like if it was worth it, we probably would have done it. We just at the time thought that was insane to pay $50,000. So I'm such an idiot looking back that we didn't attack it.
Stupid.
Stupid. But and that was the same show. Someone tried to sell us the ambulance that Dale Earnhardt was taken to the hospital. So after his wreck, the ambulance that took Earnhardt to the hospital, someone tried to sell us that ambulance too at the same show. So
the whole ambulance.
No. So that one was an easy no. But
I would have actually preferred the story being like, we really considered the ambulance. The ambulance seemed like the Gretzky PSA 10 at $50,000. Nah, we can't do that. But the ambulance stuff.
Yeah, that was we were just kind of like, what is going on here? And it happened in like 20 minutes apart. So yeah. At the time, the Dale Earnhardt ambulance might have been the better buy.
Do you know? Is this? Maybe I shouldn't ask. Yeah, I'm asking anyways. I don't care. Did you and Len ever buy a significant puck that had hockey history? I remember hearing this. There's a rumor about this, and I don't know if it's true or if it was thought to be true. Or can you share any details on that?
I don't know. I don't. That might be a story for another time. But yeah, there was a significant puck. We believe we had the puck. The puck was put out there. And lawyers or litigators or whatever, they had every opportunity to like come after us and say that's not the puck, and nobody did. And they said that the particular individual has a puck that he uses to represent the winning goal that he scored. So in that wording, it basically was telling us he doesn't have the puck. He doesn't know where the puck went. But he was very good friends with the trainer of the team. And it turns out it was in the trainer's estate. The puck was easily dated from the era. It had a piece of tape around it with the trainer's handwriting, which could be identified, and the date of the significant goal. So, yes, we did have that puck for a while. And we just got tired of trying to prove ourselves, even though no one could come out and definitively say that's not the puck. Deep down, it was the puck. And eventually, I think we did end up like putting it in an auction house, and it might have sold for like $30,000 or something like that back then. But it was the puck. We know it was the puck.
So I feel like you did everything. You don't have to tell the story another time because you just told the story.
Yeah. But do we know what the puck was? I don't know.
Listen, based on your description, I can only assume it's one of two known Brad Hartland Quebec Major Jr.
Yes.
I can only assume it's one of those two. Like, there's only two known. Like, that's it.
Those things are priceless.
It could be the first or it could be the second. Who knows?
I can't say on the goal the player like was kind of diving through the air as he scored, so that could probably
that's where Eric jumps in front of the ambulance to try to get to it. That's basically what happens, and we tie it all together. We tie the stories all together.
Yeah.
So Sean here says, can you submit coins to PSA? So I'd be curious, Sean, are you talking about like the hockey coins, like those ones? Because if it's a real coin, then it's PCGS. But if you're talking about like the hockey coins, I think they've got like a coin holder that is a PSA holder. If it's like the Sheriff coins, one of those deals, they've got a holder for that.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we have for Sheriff coins, and Collectors, our parent company, owns PCGS, which is the largest coin authenticators, graders in the world as well. And that is on my radar with my job with Collectors is to work on PCGS coming to Canada as well. We have dealers across Canada. Actually, the biggest PCGS dealer in Canada is actually from Sydney or Bedeck, Nova Scotia, who I met about 6 months ago, and we're going to connect again before Christmas. Very nice guy, and has all kinds of stories and knowledge that I'm definitely going to learn some stuff from him. That's for sure.
Fancy.
You always know someone's good. Yeah, when you talk to a coin guy, I didn't know him. I met him at a coin show that I went over by myself one Sunday. And so I went home and he seemed really nice. He gave me some stuff. I bought a few things and I came back and I said, I should just do some research on this guy just to see. And I put in, and he's like, he donated a coin that he purchased for almost $1 million to a museum. And I was like, yeah, this guy's the real deal. Yeah, definitely the real deal. So, and he was a very nice guy.
From Cape Breton.
I was going to say, I always enjoy. It's a completely different collecting category because it's been around a long time. But some of those coin guys, they before the pandemic and the cards had their boom and everything, $1 million coins were a thing going back a long ways. That group now that's more gentrified. Some of those guys have these big 8-figure, 9-figure collections they put together way back then. And then what happened is every one of those collections would have some provenance. They would be like, it's the so-and-so's collection, the Steve Potty collection, boom. And that's what would go up for auction. And because he owned it, it's just like real life. Because he owned it, that was it. Because if he'd had the Dale Earnhardt ambulance, that would like triple the value. The Steve Potty Dale Earnhardt ambulance.
I'd still be driving that today. That'd be awesome.
You could have driven your $50,000 PSA 10 Gretzky in the Dale Earnhardt ambulance. You could have had it all, Steve. You could have had it all.
I've made some bad decisions in my life.
There you go. So, Sherry, I think it's a good time. We'll actually chat a little bit more. So thank you, everybody in the chat, for participating. It's been fun. Do you think we should give away a box?
I think we should.
I have 14 entries right now. I have 14 entries. And yes, Steve, your mom was able to get there. So I've got 14 entries accounted for. Everyone has punched in. Here's your last chance. If you haven't already punched in the hashtag, there is, Steve, can you show the prize one more time? So this hashtag that's scrolling across the bottom there is to win a 2324 Upper Deck Ice hobby box that Steve is holding in his hand.
Actually, he's good at that.
He's got a whole thing. Paul, it's your last chance. Punch in the hashtag. Small letters or big letters, you can actually win that box, and that box will be sent your way. So I will share the screen here, and then we'll do the draw. So let's go here. There it is. One more time on the screen. The hashtag is right there. So I see 15 entries.
Alex, did you?
All right, last chance. I'm about to hit the button.
Just kidding.
Going once, going twice. Technology. There you go. Paul got it in just in time. Sold. Here we go. Got to give yourself a chance. The only way you can win is if you put in the hashtag. You got to give yourself a shot.
Oh, it was almost on Sheila. Oh,
Robert.
Benoit.
There you go. We've got confetti in the whole thing.
I'll give you $20 for it, Benny. You're a vintage collector.
There you go.
Oh, too funny.
I think
It happens.
he is a vintage collector. He just finished his completed now, right? 51 to 89. Every hockey card from 51 to 89.
Yep. Benny comes in every Wednesday with his, I thought it was a black book that you would keep, phone numbers in, but it's his little black book of collecting. So every Wednesday he comes in and he just checks our vintage area and sees if there's any upgrades that can be done. So we love Benny because he's a true collector, and yeah, if he can upgrade any particular card or set, he'll do it. So, and he's good for the hobby. Always helpful.
Good stuff.
And
Now
for
remember
20
to
bucks, I'll
reach
buy
out.
that.
Yeah, remember to reach out so you can get your box. That's the way to reach out. You got to reach out to get your prize. And for Greg and Robert, you got to be quick, guys. I gave you more than 20 minutes to punch in and a last warning. That's how Paul was able to get in the hashtag. But next time, now you guys know. Always get in the hashtag early. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Don't delay. Always get that in first.
I did really want to say a card I picked up that I was pretty excited about.
All right, hold on here. I'll zoom in. Got a Connor McDavid there. Future Watch auto.
PSA 9. So that was my pickup last week.
You didn't have that one before?
No, I never had that. So now I got McKinnon, like the big guys. I got Crosby, McKinnon. I
do like the approach here. I like Alex's approach. There's so ready to volunteer, Brad. So ready to volunteer.
I know.
There you go. Perfect. Yes. Do come in and claim your prize. Congratulations.
Rick Benny's theme on it.
Yep. There you go. It's like the wheel is fair. The wheel is just. It does what it's gonna do. I just push the button and let it happen.
Tune in next week to get your hashtag comment in for the next giveaway.
Absolutely. But yeah, so you picked up that one and you said you have most of the main guys. So is the goal to get all the Future Watch autos? Is that the deal?
Nah, I don't know. I'm really not sure. I'm confused on what I'm collecting right now.
I just assumed it was Alex Manoah super collecting. I thought that was what you were into.
I just heard he's not coming back to the Jays, and I just can't wait till he goes. But I will keep that guy. I'm never selling that card.
Brad, we've already made a deal. One of those I'm going to buy from you for a pittance because it's the only just thing. Like after all the laughs we've had about Alex Manoah, I will acquire one of those from you because I have to have it, and I will give it a place of honor or dishonor.
I know. You know, actually the guy that I bought it with that owns 50%, he actually has the card. I got to get the card back so I can display it proudly. We can put that.
I was going to say, like, so you share the shame with one other person 50-50.
Oh yeah, two of us. Yep, $6,000 each Canadian, $12,000 we paid for the card. It's now.
So you know what, Steve? The not buying
could have bought that ambulance.
Gretzky. Yeah, I was going to say you could have bought the ambulance.
I know. It's the same guy that we bought. We got a Nate Pearson collection as well. So it just adds fuel to the fire.
Yeah, you made great decisions with that guy.
If only, Steve, you know, if only. I do wish. My only regret here, I do wish someone had said to Brad something to the effect of, don't buy pitchers. That's a fool's errand. Don't do it. You'd be crazy to do that. Something like that. Sherry, imagine if someone had said that before Brad did the thing.
Yeah. And I bought those $10 each. Jimmy Key, Dave Steve, on-card autos, $10 each. Sent them to PSA, had them grade it. They both came back PSA 10s.
Those are at least good. Those are at least good.
Yeah,
that's fine.
$40 each. So, like unbelievable compared to my $20,000 Manoah Pearson collection.
Yeah, the point of that is not you can't buy pitchers ever. The point is pitching prospects don't tend to turn out very well. It's usually not a good thing.
You can say it, Steve.
Stupid.
Thanks. I deserve it.
I think I was trying to acquire my platinum cards on Friday. I heard he does that at the store. There you go.
It's kind of like a
Brad
Homer Sutterblom collection.
Yes. Yeah.
I was gonna say at least that one has provenance. It's an iconic collection, and it has come through pack pulls, and hashtag rigging from Upper Deck. I guess I don't even know.
Oh my god, too funny. Yeah.
I think even next week, one topic that if I can come on next week, if I get the invite again,
We'll see.
You live there, Brad.
I know. Well,
I was like, you know what? No, just outside.
Mute.
You and the Manoahs, you can stay out there.
But I would love to talk. There's a lot of talk going around about grading and the eye appeal of cards, and there's a lot of stuff I agree with, and there's a lot of stuff that I think the public just doesn't understand. And I'd love to get in depth a little more and explain my opinion, and also a little based on PSA grading standards, and to make sure that people actually understand them. what they are. There's lots of times that, like, you can have a card that can have a hairline crease that's not visible in the slab to the naked eye unless you really look at it, and that could all of a sudden turn the card into a 4, but it has eye appeal of an 8 or a 9. There's a lot of different things that I think I'm going to work on over the course of the next 2 to 3 weeks and really do something good in the new year. But I'd like to start that conversation anyways. And again, it's all what a collector wants to buy and spend their own money on. Don't get caught up in that. But I'd like to do some more stuff, Carlos. We'll chat about that as well.
Excellent. Steve, I like where this is going. Brad can passionately state this, and we can denounce his heresy.
Does PSA grade ambulances? That's what I want to know.
I will bet you Beckett has a holder for that. They probably have a holder big enough. They already have a lot of extra space in the regular holder. If you've seen some of those monstrosities, it's fantastic. I do have a legitimate question though. Okay, like obviously we don't have an answer for it, but I do have to ask since you brought up the ambulance is my favorite thing today. Now, I have to ask. So if they offer that, where would they have kept that? Was that like something they just kept in a garage? Like, how would you even maintain something like that? It's like, is the ambulance running? Does it even work?
He had a suit and a briefcase, and he said he was representing. So I think he might have been like a lawyer or some sort of on the legal side of things. He said he was representing his client, who was the owner of the ambulance. So it was. Yeah, it was quite the show.
I'm wondering if he had an ankle bracelet, because I'm wondering how he acquired the ambulance. It's like, you don't just get an ambulance, Steve.
And I guess it must have sold at some point. So I would love to know where down south that ambulance ended up. Maybe somewhere near Talladega or something like that. But it'd be interesting to know.
I would like to think that Jay Leno bought it for reasons.
Possibly.
He's got a garage of like 1 million cars. He may as well have the Dale Earnhardt ambulance. Why not? Like that'd be outrageous in Jay Leno's garage where he's got all this other old cars and all kinds of crazy things anyway. Yeah. It'd have to be something like that, because there are people who collect stuff like that. Like I remember that there's somebody who has like the different versions of the Batmobile, like the Adam West Batman Batmobile and stuff like that. Like there is a market for stuff like that. But it's so, you literally need a garage with a lot of room to keep all these cars.
Yeah.
It's not very practical. It's kind of like, you need all this space. A palatial estate. He was also trying to sell the Brooklyn Bridge, maybe. Maybe. It always makes you wonder those things.
You surprise me sometimes, Steve.
What's that?
You surprise me sometimes. You said something good.
I need to write some of this down before I forget.
Yeah.
Well, I think the problem is, Steve, we missed out, because this would have been because right around whereabouts would this have been? This would have been probably back in the 90s, I'm guessing.
It's been a while. Maybe a little bit later, like early 2000s.
All right, but it's still early enough that I bet it predates Pawn Stars. You could have beat him to the punch.
Possibly. Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been Steve with Canadian Pawn Stars and Blair as Chumley. We're golden. Like, guys, I can sell it. Brad, I can sell this. I'll make us all rich.
Oh yeah,
we'll be so rich.
I love it. I said this many times to Smith and JP Rob, the Trailer Park Boys. Like, you really should come in and set up some cameras at AMG, and just watch. Like, if you see some of the shenanigans that can go on and some of the quotes that come, I think it would be a great reality show. With the cast of characters led by the legend Steve Potty himself.
It is true.
Yeah. Once you get to know me, I'm a bit of a character. So
Mm-hmm.
I will accept that.
Yeah. But I'm just imagining the point though would be imagining the look on your face is like Dale Earnhardt's ambulance. The one that they drove him away in. Yeah. And you think I want that? Why?
He was excited about it. So
and then you bring in a shaman to take away the bad juju from it. I don't think you want any part of that.
We
see Brad, even beyond the weirdness of the item, is like, do you really want any association to such bad juju at that point?
Yeah.
No, you know what? Maybe it's like, you know what? Why don't you take it over there and you find somebody you don't like and say, you know what? You evaluate. It's probably cursed.
I'd like to know, like, did he walk the entire show, or did he go, 5 or 6 tables, and this isn't going to work, or maybe the next table bought it. I don't know.
I'd like to think that he walked the entire show looking for the right person to pitch this to, and he goes, "That looks like an ambulance buying kind of guy. That's the one."
That was weird.
I love it.
902 Vintage says, "Who's ready for April Expo?" I think it'll be fun. I think we'll have some fun in April. It is going to be a little bit. I like the spring show because it is kind of chill. It's kind of relaxed a little bit by comparison because it's not usually as busy, but it's a good show. I like the spring show. He is, trust me, that's right. Leia bought the ambulance and is in the process of cutting it up. Listen, that'd be amazing.
Yep.
Somewhere off in the distance, Brian Gray is like, "Damn it. I would totally have cut that up and put it in a card."
Yeah.
Someone probably did.
I already pitched. Basically anytime there's something that can be cut up and put on a card, I always pin it on Brian Gray. I say I say, who would do that? Brian Gray, good old BG. Ambulance relic and signed deal senior sticker. That's probably what happened. That way there's a leaf card. That's a leaf card right there. That would totally happen. But anyway, so I like your idea, Brad. So I think maybe we can touch on that. This is actually very good. I'm very impressed. We were able to have a little bit of fun. Great participation in the chat today. We had some fun stories. I bet y'all didn't tune in thinking that you'd get a story about a PSA 10 Gretzky and a Dale Earnhardt ambulance today.
No, I certainly didn't.
Well done, folks. I enjoyed it. I think that was pretty good. So any last thoughts or comments? If anybody has anything they want to ask before we go, you can ask Steve if he wants to buy an ambulance. This is your last chance. He might even say yes this time.
Like you said, though, great participation today. Just definitely helps things flow fast, and a few good laughs. And I'll try to remember a few more stories moving forward. Sometimes they just come to me.
Well, we talked about it though, because we talked about this and said I like the consistency. It bookends it perfectly.
Oh yeah.
Well done.
Oh God,
Yeah, I mentioned before the live is going to evolve. We're gonna kind of evolve as you folks do. So the more participation you're in, if you want to interact with us, again, questions, comments, thoughts, and maybe the odd Steve story. Brad's got cards back in the background. We can talk Alec Manoah futures. I'll get charts. It'll be fantastic. Like I will go and show you the chart, and it'll start like this, and it'll go like.
Oh yeah, charts and graphs. Isn't that what Neo does?
That's basically, yeah. But we were just going to focus on one graph. It's just going to do this, and then your partner is going to be in witness protection by the time the chart is done moving. We're never going to see or hear from him again. I think he's off trying to chase an ambulance. But anyway, so on that note, on that bombshell, had to do it on that bombshell. Thank you all for participating and hanging out with us this time around. Search Time with Steve in-store Fridays at 3 p.m. There you go. Hours and everything. Beautiful. All right, so that's it for us. So, Steve, collect the scalps, collect the people. Thank you, Sherry, and thank you, Brad. AMG Live. We pulled off another one, and we'll be back next week. Have yourselves a good one. We'll catch you in the next one.